process, you want email, you want word of mouth, you want all hands, you want every cannon you got blasting information. Once people start to get negative, how do they resist? Actively or passively?
Passively.
Your job is to create listening mechanisms. In a change process, you inundate people with information. The second thing you do is you create receiving mechanisms. Focus groups. Meetings where they use flip charts and outside consultants or people in your organization. Hey, go out to the Midwest region and do an hour and just hear from people what's not working and not working. You're going to create listening mechanisms throughout the company to get people to move their resistance from the hallway to the rooms where it can be managed. You can create lists, right? You as an individual leader working with individuals, the same thing. You want to create forms for people to express themselves, but in an organizational setting, you've got to create listening mechanisms. Once people start to express themselves and they give you negativity, which is what you want, you start getting small tiger teams to test their theories. Okay, you just said it'll never work because of X, Y, and Z. Let's have you four go and test that theory. You can help if you want, but let's have you four go and come back next week with what you found. That's called exploration. You facilitate trial and error. You assume nothing's going to go right the first time. You create mechanisms for trial and error. And then as soon as you get something that people can hook into, you start to reward the heck out of it and reinforce it. Pretty basic here, but that's what happens in this neutral zone. Managing from the neutral zone requires first over-communication outward, second over-communication inward. Does that make sense to everybody? And it's usually time-bound. For the first week or two after the big bang announcement, you've said enough. Now shut up and start listening. And create mechanisms to listen. Then you start trial and error, tiger teams, SWAT teams, whatever your company calls them. Most companies have names for these. And then you create some level of commitment toward the behavior or the change you want.
So you're listening for the negative feedback.
No, you're creating mechanisms to get it, to bring it out, right? One of the things CEOs shoot themselves in the mouth with every single day is they get up in front of the CRM rollout or in front of the merger and acquisition, and the first sentence they say is, guys, not much is changing, don't worry. Don't worry about it. There'll be no job loss.
Be transparent.
I know the rumors are running rampant. Guys, but listen, it's business as usual. Get back to work. Nothing's changing. Every 80% of the room either thinks or knows he's full of shit. Even if he's not, even if things really aren't going to change, people think because they heard change. You must be honest. You must do what Mark Wetterau at Golden State Foods did when a plant was going to close about a year and a half in advance. The plant in Virginia was going to close. He showed up with his head of HR and said, guys, we don't know. We think this plant's going to close in a year. We're pretty sure it is. You need to look for a job, do it. If you stay, we're going to give you a package. But I certainly understand if you don't. As an outside consultant who does what I do for a living, I almost fell off my chair. It was a thing of beauty. What do you think he got in terms of collective motivation of the people? Do you think people went out and put their resume on the street and started looking for jobs right away? We'll take a bullet for this guy. So then you hear senior leaders say, maybe we shouldn't say anything till we know. Maybe we should not say anything because we don't know. Maybe we should say it's going to be okay. No. Humans are humans. Be an authentic leader. Guys, I'm going to give you the best tool I've ever learned in change leadership right now. There's 3 things you do in this neutral zone. When you communicate with other humans, you do these 3 things. Jim, you ready? Right. You look people in the eye in groups and you say, here's exactly what I know. That's easy. You want to know the harder part is the second part. You look people in the eye and you say, here's exactly what I don't know. But Mike, you explicitly put what you don't know and you think might be causing them anxiety, you put it right out in front of them. Here's what I don't know. Third, I want to hear your questions. As a senior leader, you're going to say, here's what I know. Let me tell you what I don't know or is unknowable right now. And here's where here's either where I have questions for you or I want to hear questions from you. There was a shareholder meeting. Many of you in Orange County have heard about this Allergan thing. Hostile takeover.